The year was 2022. The pandemic had just hit the world, and one day while I was bored at work scrolling through YouTube, I found one channel that will change my life forever. I discovered the world of devlogs, and after seeing so many people pursuing their dreams of becoming game developers, my mind went back to when I was a little kid and spent whole afternoons fascinated playing Spyro, and thinking to myself, dude, when I grow up, I want to make games. And I wanna be a dragon. Yeah, kids say all kinds of crap. What this little moron didn't know at the time is that making video games, it is not that easy. You have gameplay, art, music, animation, there are so many disciplines you have to master to be able to make even the simplest game that development takes forever. And if you're a newbie like me, you spend almost all your time learning new stuff and little to no time adding actual content to the game. That is why every time you see a game developer with experience in the field giving advice to new developers, you always hear the same thing.
You should be making smaller games.
Make a lot of small games.
Never, ever go into game dev thinking that you're going to make your dream game first.
And of course, me being the wise person that I am and having listened to all this advice beforehand, when I decided to make my first game, I said, fuck it, I'm going to make a story-driven open-world survival game with building system and different storylines. And Dragon. It's been 2 years since I started working on Restore, my story-driven open-world survival game, and in this time I have only managed to make a test map, the main character with a questionable locomotion system, an inventory system, some survival mechanics like chopping trees, a pretty basic combat system, and an incomplete building system. And if you do the math, you will realize that 6 features in 2 years... Oh god, I will never finish this game. This is why, after a long and productive talk with my Patreon homies, I have decided, is this working? I have decided to stop working on my dream game. The thing is that, when I started making this game, I knew it was going to be difficult, but I had no idea of how difficult it would get, and I fell into the trap of ambition. Not only I decided to combine Breath of the Wild and Valheim, 2 huge games into a new weird type of game, but every time I played another game and saw a mechanic I liked, I thought to myself, ooh, I should add this to my game too. And then I went on a full month-long detour trying to implement that new feature, which is not even important for the main game. This is a problem, especially because as I have almost no experience, things that can be very easy to implement take me a lot of time since I first have to learn how they work, which became quite clear when I was working on the building system and I spent like 2 weeks brainstorming an algorithm to calculate the stability of the structures, and it turns out that there are already solutions to this problem. I swear I have never felt so dumb. Well, maybe except for that time I said, I'm going to make a story-driven... But it doesn't have to be this way. I can do it better, and that's why from now on I am going to dedicate a little time every day to learn something new. And you should too, and who better to help us with this task than the sponsor of this video, Brilliant. Okay, so Brilliant is the goal. Forget about boring old courses and articles. With Brilliant you will learn by actually doing stuff. Jump into thousands of interactive lessons in math, data analysis, programming and AI, and develop your critical thinking skills through hands-on exercises where you have to mess around with concepts and solve problems yourself. A method proven to be 6 times more effective than watching lecture videos. Oh yeah, I can feel my brain getting bigger already. With Brilliant's gamified approach to teaching, you'll not only be learning and securing a better future for yourself, but also having a lot of fun. I'm going through the Vector Math course right now, and honestly, it's been a blast. And don't come and tell me that you are a busy person and don't have time for it, because with Brilliant, you can learn using as little as 10 minutes of your day. Damn, that's a lot of lessons. So, what's your excuse now? To try everything Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days, visit brilliant.org/savvyshe or click the link in the description, and you will also get a 20% off an annual premium subscription. Wait, what just happened? No, don't get me wrong, I haven't lost any motivation. Making video games is awesome, and of course I'm going to keep doing it. Being in front of the PC looking for hours at a monolithic text file trying to find an error among hundreds of lines of code to fix a little small bug. I can't get enough of that. Also, one of my life goals is to get to release a game that people genuinely enjoy. A game that makes an impact on their lives and leaves a mark on the indie gaming landscape scene. So yeah, you're not going to get rid of me that easy. So what's the plan now? I am going to start working on a smaller game, something that is manageable and can be finished in a relatively short period of time. Preferably in some genre that I personally enjoy and that is popular to reach more sales, as I want to use the funds from this game to be able to reinvest in Restore. store. Oh, and I also want to design it to be both fun to play but also fun to watch, because if I can make the game streamable in some way, I can reach a lot more people. With all that in mind, is this thing on? I have decided that my next game is going to be a simulation shop management type of game, where the goal is to grow while interacting with a diverse cast of characters and solving goofy situations. Ouch, dude! You are hitting me harder each time! Yes, you are right, but this time is going to be different, because this time... Here is how it's going to work. Step 1. I am going to make a list of all the features I want to add to my game and define which of those features are a must-have. Step 2. I am going to develop a minimum viable product and release it as soon as possible to start collecting feedback. Step 3. I will iterate on that demo and feedback and cook for hopefully not too many years. Step 4. Profit. Damn, I'm a genius. But in any case, we'll have to wait and see how it goes. I am saying all this now, but I know it's going to be hard to control my inner demon that forces me to develop everything from scratch and makes me reinvent the wheel when it is not necessary. Nah, everything should be fine. In any case, if it wasn't clear to you, this is not the end. This is the beginning of a new chapter, and from now on, you have to be kidding me.